Good evening, and welcome to Camera Too Low, Light Too Dim. But this information is too good for me to not really process for myself. What we're going to be talking about today is Netflix, because there's a lot of news going on around it, and I haven't seen too many people talk about Netflix's actually pricing and its relation to FANG stocks. So, this is not advice of any kind. I'm really just talking through this for myself because over the past few years I've been really tempted to buy Netflix for myself, and I've managed to talk myself out of it pretty much every time because I didn't invest soon enough to really get on board with the big spike. Well, I didn't start investing in this type of stuff soon enough. So, people seem to be really positive on Netflix right now, and I just need to really process the information to think whether I want to invest in it or not. So let's cover some basics. So, Netflix, I like looking at price to earnings ratios. It seems nowadays people have really forgotten about them. I think historically, price to earnings ratios are a very good basic indication of a stock. So, if we look at Netflix, it has a price to earnings ratio currently of 88, and I have rounded all of these numbers, prices, everything to nice, no decimal points to help us keep track of everything. But Netflix's current price to earnings ratio is 88, which is high. It really doesn't matter what kind of stock you're looking at. 88 for a price to earnings ratio is really high. Right now, most of the stocks I look at, they're in the 20 to 30 range. Things are just really expensive right now, but 88 is a little crazy. But the forward looking PE is 50, which is still a little high, but if we're talking about a company that has a lot of growth potential, that's, maybe. Amazon has had a high price to earnings ratio for a long, long, long time, but has been keeping pace with it at a fairly decent rate. But the price to earnings ratio of 88 is a little bit concerning. So that's why I have these, Facebook and Amazon, both members of FANG as well. But Facebook has a price to earnings ratio of 32, which in basic terms makes it cheaper. And Amazon has a price to earnings ratio of 78, which also in basic terms makes it cheaper. So why does Facebook have a 32, Amazon have a 78, and Netflix have an 88? Well, let's look at their revenue streams. For Netflix, we have subscribers, and that's it. It really doesn't have anything else. Subscribers. So, to make more money, it has to get new customers, and that's it. It's really a simple formula. You get more customers, you make more money. And they have been doing that. Facebook gets its money from really ads. It does have other things, but primarily it's ads. So for Facebook to make more money, it has to raise the price of ads, which it has been doing, and it has a lot of room to do that even more. And more platform monetization. It's really only recently begun the monetization of Instagram and hasn't fully realized that yet. And it has other platforms that it could potentially monetize as well. So there's a lot of room for growth there. So when you look at Facebook and how it has two different streams where it could possibly gain more revenue versus Netflix where it has one, I don't really see why Netflix has a lot higher price to earnings ratio. Now when we go to Amazon, Amazon gets its revenue from complete commerce, everything. It gets its revenue from literally everything in life. So, for it to make more money, it just needs to introduce itself into new sectors, which we've seen in recent years of Amazon offering actual services, like contracting out people for services, and new customers, which the internet's still getting out there, and Amazon is capitalizing on that, gaining new customers, just like Netflix is. So it appears that both Amazon and Netflix both kind of outpace Netflix in ways to earn money, but maybe Netflix is still just, really crushing it and really just getting out there. And even though it only has one source of income, maybe that one source is so untapped that it could outpace these other companies' sources of income. So let's look really quickly at the forward price to earnings ratio of 50. And there's a reason I haven't considered forward price to earnings ratios, because Netflix's 50, I think, is unrealistic. I'm not a professional, but I really think 50 is unrealistic. So I don't know the exact numbers because I don't have them written down, but I know like 2017 to 2018, the year over year increase in growth was over 50%. It was really high. It was crazy high. And the same period from 2018 to 2019 was pretty low. It was still a gain. They still increased revenues. They still increased subscribers, but it was pretty low. I think it was like 12%. I could be wrong on that, but I know it was lower. This 50 forward price to earnings ratio is counting on a 76% increase to earnings per share. 76%. That is steep, especially when you consider that Disney's Disney Plus is coming out in, at this point, 17 days? It's coming out in 17 days, and I think people are underplaying how much that's going to hurt Netflix's numbers in the coming year, at least a year, because Disney Plus is coming in at $7 a month, undercutting Netflix's price by they're $13 a month now for the plan that most people would get. So undercutting Netflix by $7, or bad math, $6, $6 a month. They're undercutting Netflix. And I think that's on purpose. They're trying to steal Netflix's customers with a cheaper price. And even if they don't steal Netflix's customers, which in people I've talked to, just this is anecdotal evidence, in people I've talked to that have streaming services, most of them aren't actually planning on canceling their Netflix membership, but they are planning on getting Disney Plus. Where I think Netflix is going to be hurt is people that aren't subscribed to Netflix yet, when they're looking at streaming services to subscribe to, and they now have Disney Plus to look at. I think they're going to lose a lot of potential customers to Disney Plus. I think that's really, it's going to come down to price. They're going to look at Disney Plus, see everything it has to offer, which maybe isn't as robust as Netflix, but the quality is going to be unquestionable. And I mean, National Geographic's kind of tacked on to Disney Plus, and that'll give them a little bit of a rounding out. But I think Disney Plus is going to progress into a real Netflix competitor in the near future, and that could hurt them even more. But that 76% growth over the next year, I think, is unrealistic with Disney Plus coming out. So just to kind of finish putting things really in perspective, we see Facebook, we see Amazon. Amazon is having its own issues now, but that's a subject for another time. I think 78 is a little bit high for Amazon. I think they're going to be dropping in price, but we're still going to use them as a comparison to Netflix because everyone lives in the present, and their present situation dictates what Netflix should be worth. So Netflix right now is at a stock price of $276, which really we don't pay attention much to how much a stock costs in dollars. We want to look at value, but we're going to use dollars to convert to value compared to other companies. So Netflix at an 88 is worth $276 per share at an 88 price to earnings ratio. For Netflix to have the same price to earnings ratio as Amazon, so the same basic potential, it would have to cost $243. So we're already talking about I did not do an actual percentage drop of this, but that is a $33 drop, so well over 10%. That's over a 10% drop just to be at the same value level as Amazon. And even though Amazon's having its issues, I don't think you're really going to convince me that Netflix has the same potential as Amazon. I don't think so. And for Facebook, which Facebook is Really, I think the only reason Facebook is so cheap right now is because of its political issues. When you look at its actual revenue sources, it's really the political issues are all that's holding it back. But looking at its present 32 price to earnings ratio, for Netflix to be the same, it would have to be worth $100 a share. $100 to have the same price to earnings ratio as Facebook. And I don't think you're going to convince me that Netflix has the same potential left in it that Facebook does. $100. That's. What is that? So if we just go off 275, so that's 50. I mean, you're looking at 60%? A little more than 60%. So probably closer to 70%. You're looking at a 70% price cut just to be valued the same as Facebook right now. That's kind of yikes. And down here, this is actually comparing Microsoft, which Microsoft is at a 27 price to earnings ratio. Microsoft is, they could get some acquisitions soon, but I think they're kind of stagnating. They've had a really good past 3 years, but I think they're kind of leveling off. And their price to earnings ratio is 27. Netflix, still being a growth company, they're still growing, they're still emerging into markets. Maybe should be valued a little bit more than Netflix. Than Microsoft. Maybe. I don't know if I'm ready to make that call. But for Netflix to have the same price to earnings ratio as Microsoft, it would have to be $84. So I'm not saying that 27 or 32 price to earnings ratio is a bad thing for Netflix. I think around there, you could actually look at Netflix and be tempted, but you're looking at between $84 and $100 to get that valuation. I think Netflix has a long ways to fall, a long ways. And with everything so overpriced right now, even Facebook at 32, while it has a lot of potential, I've stopped buying Facebook. I'm holding out on it. If Facebook ever dips again, I'll buy more. But at a 32 PE, don't think it's going to happen. Same thing with Microsoft. Microsoft, since it's kind of stagnating at a 27 PE, I'm not going to buy any more. If it dips, may buy some more. Netflix, I think Netflix days are done. If I had bought Netflix, I would probably be selling it right now. But I don't think I can convince myself to buy Netflix based on this information. Again, you can do what you want. This is just me talking through information for me to help me process Netflix. And after this, I think I've decided Netflix is kind of overpriced. Well, let me know what you guys think. I haven't really seen people addressing Netflix, maybe because people think it's just so obvious. But in the few things I have read about Netflix, especially in its recent earnings, there are some people out there that still seem really bullish on this company. And I don't see it. I just don't see it. It's too linear. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see y'all next time. Have a great day.